Need is tremendously great right now. The amount of people who walk in our doors who are asking for help has increased exponentially. We're talking about 200-fold from roughly a year ago.
You know, and a recession is hard. It really is hard. No money, no funding, you know. We rely on donations because the funding has gotten cut so much.
So we do what we do because of our donors, people out, who are helping us constantly, companies, individuals, everybody that puts, you know, that quarter on our kettle, that dollar. It goes a long way. We do what we do because people come together and help the Salvation Army.
Today, New Yorkers are facing unprecedented economic hardships due to the impact of a recession that has been more severe than any since the Great Depression. It's not just the poor and homeless, but also our friends and neighbors. From minimum wage earners to the middle class, more and more are losing their jobs, their savings, and their homes every day. People are at the end of their rope, with no end in sight, and as need increases, federal, state, and city funding withers at an alarming rate. At times like these, very few organizations can provide assistance to help those who are so desperately in need. But it is times like these that people who are desperate can find a friend they can trust in the Salvation Army. For over 130 years, the Salvation Army has helped meet the needs of millions of New Yorkers. And during this economic crisis, we continue to serve through our community service programs, providing shelter, food, counseling, emotional care, and much, much more. In New York City, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley, food poverty is around every corner. Approximately 1.4 million people rely on soup kitchens and food pantries. Nearly 1/3 of them are children. The Salvation Army provides food to those in need through a multi-pronged approach by operating soup kitchens, food pantries, and distributing grocery vouchers and food packages. Every day, we bring support and nutritious food right into the neighborhoods that need it most. Last year, we distributed 350,000 bundles of groceries and served nearly 2 million meals.
We average about 300 people a day that we feed every day, and that's about 6,000 people a month. But what I see is people in need. What I see people that are actually sometimes even praying that we will show up. We're not going to let them down. We're going to be there for them.
The Salvation Army has helped me greatly. Many of times when they didn't have food, clothing, waiting for public assistance to do what they're supposed to do, they have provided food for me and gave me spiritual guidance too.
They provide extra things that we need in the household. Helps me with my granddaughter, you know, sometimes they have clothes that she can wear that people donated, so a meal when you need a meal, or if you need a pantry because you're running out of things at home. It's really a help.
God bless the Salvation Army.
In New York City alone, over 10,000 families do not have a place to call home. 16,000 children are in shelters, and over 37,000 New Yorkers are homeless. The number of people experiencing homelessness in our area is at a critical all-time high as a result of the Great Recession. The Salvation Army is meeting this increased need through our network of shelters and our mission to help rebuild the lives of men, women, and children. Last year, we provided 500,000 nights of shelter for homeless New Yorkers.
Being homeless is not a normal situation, but it's a reality for a lot of people. So they come to Briarwood, and there is this sense of normalcy. There is the opportunity to live as a family unit. There is an opportunity to do family activities together. There is an opportunity to focus on your children.
Being that I was here with my children and I know what they were going through, even though my daughter was 6 and I had a newborn, I want to give them, the children here that live here now, what my children got, which was love and attention, you know, and that emotional support. It's just wonderful taking care of these children. And because I know that my kids were in the same situation.
If we didn't have the generosity of folks in the community, a lot of the things we do for our children and our families just wouldn't happen.
But when I was here, and when Christmas came, and then they handed me like this bag of toys for my daughter, I cried because it was so emotional. And I'm saying, where am I gonna get the money to, you know, supply my daughter with a good Christmas? It all came from donations. And without the donations, we have nothing to give to the children or their families.
Undaunted and steadfast, the Salvation Army continues to sustain and rebuild the lives of those in need by combining traditional programs with new innovative ideas and initiatives, like our brand new emergency service vehicles, which are fully equipped for street outreach.
The Salvation Army in the Greater New York Division is really modern-day William Booth, if you will. He was reaching out to the alcoholic. He was reaching out to those who had social ills. And so the Salvation Army reaching out with these emergency service vehicles is, again, modern-day William Booth. It is about meeting the needs of people at their point of need. People who are sleeping in their cars, living in the state parks, living in a number of areas that, again, they call home. This is your Salvation Army doing the most good to make the greatest difference in people's lives here in the New York area.
As the Salvation Army continues to meet the ever-increasing need, we need more help than ever before. People are suffering, and only through the contributions of our friends and supporters can we continue the battle of finding long-term solutions for the men and women, girls and boys who are in the greatest need in our New York area. Remember, 89 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to our programs to help the less fortunate. You can make a difference today. Please partner with us and donate to the Salvation Army and help us do the most good.